Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to share this lovely crochet cowl pattern with you. It is a very easy beginner friendly pattern and it is designed using a simple variation of the half double crochet stitch. It has oodles of texture and you're going to love making this crochet cowl. To make this lovely cowl, I used Bernard's Softy Chunky yarn. It is a size 6 super bulky yarn and each skein comes with 108 yards or 100 grams of yarn, and it took me 3 full skeins to make a cowl which was 55 inches in circumference and 11 inches in width. Along with 3 skeins of this yarn, I also used a big 9mm crochet hook. You will also need a locking stitch marker. You can also use a safety pin in its place and a yarn needle and scissors. So gather your supplies and let's get started. To begin, make a long chain of 99. I will be making a shorter chain for the purpose of this video. The idea is to keep it an odd number. So you go ahead and chain 99. Once you have made 99 chains, we will join the last chain with the very first chain to form a big chain ring. But we have to make sure that we don't twist the chain. For that, this is the top of your chain and this is the bottom where you have these tiny bumps. So make sure the top of the chain is facing upwards and use your left hand to run your hand over the top of the chain like that all the way to the end. So you have to make sure the top of the chain is facing upwards and you have to keep running your hands until you reach the very first chain. And once you hit that very first chain, insert your hook into the top of that chain and complete a slip stitch. You will now have a chain ring which is not twisted. Now let's begin round 1. For that, chain 1, work a half double crochet in the same chain, yarn over, insert your hook into the same chain, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all the 3 loops on your hook to complete your half double crochet stitch. Now go ahead and work a half double crochet in each chain around all the way to the end. I'm now almost at the end of my round and I have 3 more chains to work into. This is the last slip stitch and this is the beginning chain 1 of the round, so we won't be working into those. You can identify the beginning chain 1, that is the chain that is vertical, and the one at the base is the slip stitch, and you shouldn't be working into those 2. So now go ahead and work a half double crochet into the remaining 3 and that will bring us to the end of this first round. And now count your stitches and you should have 99 stitches around. You won't count this and this. This one will be your very first stitch. Starting from here, you will count all the way around to this very last stitch where you have your hook, and you should have 99 stitches. Do not slip stitch at the end of this round, but fold your work like that and make sure it is all straight and aligned and not twisted before you start round 2. So it should be flat like that. And now we will go ahead and work the first stitch of round 2 into the first stitch right there. So go ahead and work a half double crochet into that stitch. Again, this is a beginning chain 1 and this is the first stitch into that. Work a half double crochet stitch and place your marker in that very first stitch of round 2. Now the next stitch is also going to be a half double crochet, but you will work your half double crochet into the third loop of the next stitch. To find the third loop, look behind the stitch and you should find a horizontal loop. So these two are the regular loops or the regular stitch that we work into. We will leave that free and look behind and insert into a loop that is running horizontal behind our stitch, and that is where we will work our half double crochet into the third loop. So yarn over, insert your hook into the third loop behind your stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all the 3 to complete your half double crochet in the third loop. So this will leave your stitch free in the front, and that is what creates that beautiful texture. In the next stitch, work a regular half double crochet. That is, work into this regular, the V of your stitches and not into the third loop. Work a half double crochet into the next stitch. Work a half double crochet into the third loop of the next stitch. So find the third loop behind your work. This is a V of the stitches. You don't work into that, you work into the horizontal bar behind it, and that is the third loop. So complete your half double crochet into that. Now work a regular half double crochet into the next stitch. A half double crochet into the third loop of the next stitch. So look behind that stitch for that third loop and work your half double crochet. A regular half double crochet into the next stitch. A half double crochet into the third loop of the next stitch. Keep repeating that sequence all the way. That is, keep working a regular half double crochet alternating with a half double crochet in the third loop. Keep working and I'll meet you when I'm near the end of the round. Now I'm almost at the end of my round and I have 2 stitches before the marked stitch. I just worked a regular half double crochet. So in the next stitch, I will work a half double crochet in the third loop behind it. And then I have 1 last stitch into that. I will work a regular half double crochet. So round 2 begins and ends with a regular half double crochet. Now to begin round 3, we will be working a half double crochet into the third loop of the marked stitch. Remember, we did not slip stitch at the end of round 2. That is why we use a marker, so we can keep working without slip stitching at the end of the rounds. So go ahead and work a half double crochet in the third loop of that marked stitch. And now place the marker back into the stitch you just worked into your marked stitch. So that will indicate the first stitch of round 3. Now we worked in the third loop, so the next one is going to be a regular half double crochet. So work a half double crochet in the next stitch, work a half double crochet in the third loop of the next, work a half double crochet in the next stitch, work a half double crochet in the third loop of the next, work a half double crochet in the next, work a half double crochet in the third loop of the next. Keep working like that, and I'll meet you at the end of round 3. I'm now almost at the end of round 3, and I have 2 stitches left before the marked stitch. I just worked in the third loop, so in the next stitch I will work a regular half double crochet. And in the very last stitch before the marked stitch, I will work a half double crochet in the third loop to complete round 3. Again, you don't slip stitch at the end of any of the rounds. So this brings us to the end of round 3, and round 3 begins and ends with a half double crochet in the third loop. Now let's go ahead and start working round 4. To work round 4, we will start with a half double crochet in the marked stitch, a regular half double crochet, because we ended with a half double crochet in the third loop. So the next stitch is going to be a regular half double crochet in the marked stitch. So take that marker out, work a half double crochet in that marked stitch, place the marker back in the stitch you just made, work a half double crochet in the third loop of the next stitch. So look behind and complete a half double crochet into the third loop, a half double crochet in the next stitch, a half double crochet in the third loop of the next, a half double crochet into the next stitch, a half double crochet in the third loop of the next, a half double crochet in the next, and so on. So keep working like that, and I'll meet you at the end of round 4. I'm now almost at the end of round 4, and I just worked a regular half double crochet. So I have 2 stitches left. Into the next one, I will work a half double crochet in the third loop, and into the very last stitch, I will work a half double crochet, a regular half double crochet. So that brings me to the end of round 4. So round 3 begins and ends with a half double crochet in the third loop, and round 4 begins and ends with a half double crochet, a regular half double crochet. So go ahead and repeat rounds 3 and 4 until your cowl is 11 inches tall, and I'll show you how to end the last round. At any point, if you are confused whether you worked your half double crochet in the third loop or a regular half double crochet, this is how you can tell. The half double crochet in the third loop is pushed behind, and the regular half double crochets are right in the front. You can also see the free stitch in front of your third loop half double crochet stitches. So that is how you can tell if you worked a half double crochet in the third loop or a regular half double crochet. So go ahead and continue working your cowl until it is 11 inches tall. Keep repeating that rounds 3 and 4 and come back and meet me, and I'll show you how to end the cowl. Once your cowl is 11 inches tall, take out the marker, work a single crochet in that marked stitch, work a slip stitch in the next stitch. Now hold and cut your yarn, leaving an 8-inch tail, and pull the yarn tail through the stitch like that all the way out. And now we will finish with an invisible join. To make an invisible join, thread that yarn tail through a yarn needle. We're going to make a fake stitch to even out the edges. So this is a stitch we worked the slip stitch into. This one, we're going to bring our needle under the next stitch like that. And then we are going to insert our needle into that slip stitch. That will give us an even edge and form a fake stitch that looks like the rest of the stitches. Now let's weave in the remaining tail inside the cowl. So go in and out like that. Pull through. Try not to go through the fibers because this is a very thick yarn and you might find it hard to pull it out. So go under the stitches, the gap under the stitches. And now weave back in another direction. And one more time backwards. Like I said, if it gets caught in the fiber, it's hard to pull through. So make sure you go under the loops and not through the yarn fiber. Now go ahead and trim the yarn. Now we have that beginning tail to weave in. So thread that through the yarn needle. Your cowl is going to be much, much longer, 55 inches in circumference. Mine is just a small sample. So thread that beginning tail and we will imitate the invisible join here as well. So I'm going to go through this 2 loops here. Under that, I'm going to bring my needle through the gaps and put it back where it emerges. Again, don't go through the fiber, find the gap and then pull through. Tighten it. And now you can go ahead and weave in the rest of the tail inside like you did the ending tail of the pattern. Going back and forth 3 times, going under the loops and not into the fiber. And back. And trim your yarn. So that completes your chunky, gorgeous, textured cowl. If you enjoyed working this cowl with me, don't forget to like, subscribe, and press that bell icon to receive notifications when I post more easy crochet patterns. Thank you so much for watching.